Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Blah. Yo, check this out. This is your girl, Cola Vogue, and I'm chilling with my boys right here on Off the Cuff Radio. Cause we off the cuff right now. You dig? Bet. What's up? It's your boy Lil Yap from UNLV, bragging up from the river, cooling with my homies and my family at Off the Cuff Radio. Y'all be sure to tune in on Fridays and get the latest scoop and find out what's happening. You heard me? Tiffany Lavon.
And it's Queen Queasy, your girl's favorite bartender.
And we're from
Sex on the Rocks podcast.
Alright, you're now tuning in to Off the Cuff Radio.
Yeah, because they keep representing that world hip hop. Well, much love.
Alright. Y'all, this is Princess Daisy giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio. Keep doing your thing, puppy.
Hey y'all, this is Stacey Lachey giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio.
What's shaking, y'all? This is the Grand, 1/2 of Lost Cause and 1/3 of that drive time thing. Sending my love to the homies over at Off the Cuff Radio. Tune in every Friday night for some real deal hip hop conversation. These dudes are the connoisseurs of this thing. You already know what it is. BX Stand Up, HUD City, we're shaking. Peace.
Yo, this is Dope Fresh to Dine, and y'all tuned in to the most raw, uncut show on radio, the Guillotine Team, Off the Cuff, and yo, Eric, Sandman, off of these clowns' heads.
LOX, DBlock, you already know. Yeah, handgun or switchblade. I ride for my nigga, talk shit and you get sprayed. Right, like big city where they hold the crown. Around millionaires, so we learning how to implement Amadeus. Yo, I remember every winter since 9. I probably couldn't understand it, but I could plan it and do crime. Started out with small stores, round your little crew up, and every one thing I snatched that grabbed two of. Fist fights, stolen bikes, then we grew up. Stolen cars, jail bars, turning into shooters. Me and Bricks on the strip trying to do us until I took the work out of town, then blew up. Came a long way from bitches that never knew us. Now the chick you wanna cuff, I duck after I screw up. Swerve, hit the curb, hopped out, tore the coupe up. I always been nice with the words, verbal abuser. But don't confuse us, my nigga, the way the voice blow. A C no sound, I had it measured, that's the moist flow. True. Sitting back, counted up 100 racks. Been there and done that, and made them say run that. When you bright lights, big city where they hold a crown. When you on top, they hate and wanna bring you down. We around millionaires, so we learning how. The same things that make you laugh, make you turn a frown. Bright lights, big city where they hold a crown. When you on top, they hate and wanna bring you down. We around millionaires, so we learning how. The same things that make you laugh, make you turn a frown. Success is the best revenge, so keep grinding like the 550 Benz. The flow gon' keep shining.
What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck is it only in New York, man? Turn that fucking bullshit off, man, while I get back to work.
Stash box, but the heat in the seat lining. Triple beam schemes and dreams of deep sea diamonds. Street, New York state of mind, and when I'm rhyming. Bubble spots while y'all hugging the rock, nickel and diamond. Now I don't wanna hear no jail stories about your time in. Catch a new case first, you talking old crime. Got a bunch of killers with me, but they roll silent. Shake your hand, then kill you with the other, so violent. Yo, all these millions around, and y'all wildin' from the blocks to the double-deck yacht, and we stylin'. Bright lights, big city where they hold a crown. When you on top, they hate and wanna bring you down. We around millionaires, so we learning how. The same things that make you laugh, make you turn a frown. Yo, Looch, we got one right here, my G.
Y'all ready for this? 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 Y'all ready for this?
DBlock.
Now here's what I want y'all to do.
My nigga. On the road again, smoking on the tour bus, soaking in the scenery. I'm zoned out, lighting heavy greenery. It's been a long time, now I could give them a piece of me. Had to be the G in me, I live this shit repeatedly. Consecutive thoughts, like the time the chords pass me. The lines like the coke, concurrent, the flow nasty. Give me a dope beat, and I'ma give you my rap sheet. And that way it ain't no questions for you to ask me. I've been there, my youth is a proof of my past life. Out of town, 2-week runs to the last night. All of a sudden, all that changed, niggas ain't act right. Rap shit, it made me flip to the gun and mask type. But that's the past, now I'm off to this rap life. Fans said I should've been blue, I was that nice. Please believe it, things happen for a reason. You gon' shine when it's time, when you grind like the season.
Riding around in my Rennie, windows on tinted, smoking sour, getting high. You don't even know who's in it, oh no. They don't want me to blow, they just sitting there hating, they ain't touching my dough. Uh-oh, now my revolver on top. We cool, but I don't give a fuck. Keep talking, I'ma let that thing buck. Oh no, they don't want me to blow, they just sitting there hating, they ain't touching my dough. Uh-oh.
This whole rap game is like a mirage. You see the fame, but it's hard to feel the pain from behind these bars. Oh, you see me standing next to stars, you thought I made it, but ain't shit for free in this world unless you take it. So I separate my personal issues and know my limits, cause all that friend shit end quick over the business. Plus I rode the bench for a minute, even the streets know. Kill every feature with ether, that's when the speakers blow. Keep it low, cause my workload that helped me stand out. Took the loyalty over money with no handouts, like the crack house with grams that never ran out. Keep on pumping till all of my plans pan out. No doubt they loving the bounce, so you can share it now. The same way I flow in the crowd, I've been aired it down. Check my track record, like when I used to ride with the stash weapon, looking for niggas that's half stepping.
Riding around in my Rennie, windows on tinted, smoking sour, getting high. You don't even know who's in it, oh no. They don't want me to blow, they just sitting there hating, they ain't touching my dough. Uh-oh, now my revolver on top. We cool, but I don't give a fuck. Keep talking, I'ma let that thing buck. Oh no, they don't want me to blow, they just sitting there hating, they ain't touching my dough. Uh-oh.
Let's go, Snyp. What you got for him?
See, we live how we big. You gotta feel this. Come equipped with full clips and we build shit. Here's the bullpen. We running through that bullshit. Walk to the death. We never left off that real shit. See, we live how we big. You gotta feel this. Come equipped with full clips for that bullshit. Here's the bullpen. We spit raw and peel shit. Walk to the death, nigga. Get him, Snyp. You know Snyp got the drug flow. Sour Kush haze. My back staircase days. Moving wild trades. I was freeing up bass. Broadway with a strap. Back when niggas caught cases and they mans wouldn't rap. Black radios bumping New York rap. But nowadays all these gimmicks making New York whack. Chromed out 9 Ruger, that's a New York strap. My lines have niggas higher than New York crack, nigga. I'm where it's at, you where it was, you a has-been. Bars do the smashing, colder than the Aspen. I don't gotta cock it to blast, that's double action. Tearing niggas heads off and leave they chest smashed in. I hear these niggas asking, they hating from the critics. Compare me to whoever, Snyp Life living. I get it in digits, cock back and blow the biscuit. Hopped out in something in 4 pipes, I did it. Bit it up in green with niggas that blew steam. Never heard a thug scream till his face cut clean, nigga. This shit mean, fake niggas fall back now. Real niggas do real things, we on the map now.
Young things like Roy DeMayo, on the J.O., still Moody Yayo. Albert Anastasia Danger, Mar Paper Major. Homo thugs, these niggas act so Versace. Let them meet the plug, they turn Joe Valachi. Yeah, I'm still grinding a 9 to 5 and I hustle. Holla at me, you tryna hire some muscle? Holla at me. Black gloves on, addressing the matters. I empty the scatters. Niggas old bread, I check on the status. It's the bullpen, the best of friends. Rep the streets, rep the pen. Checking chin, shoot the 5. Raw day, do it live. Know the routines, ride through, circle the block. That G shit, my crew bang, the circle is locked. Let one of my shooters clap if it's out of my reach. Large bring that white back like a bottle of bleach. I'm on the corner, nigga, coming ground with large, real shit. Yeah, we live behind the bars.
I'm what the streets needed. Young wild nigga on his drone shit. Fuck a rental car, China bus on the road trip. Bring one of my mommies for the ride, it like to blow dick. Meet a couple fans on the go, they say I'm so sick. Nice, P. I'm popping bottles while I'm OT. Popping. I'm popping models while I'm OT. Them niggas hating, they don't know me. They say they gangster, well they gon' have to show me. Look, I'm a G, I'm a grown ass man, dog. See, I'm that heat, you don't wanna put your hands on. Don't play me sweet if you really love your grandma. I'll shove that barrel in her pussy like a tampon. Yeah, this that bullpen flow. Still bars when they run out of shit to say, they still lost. I used to stick up niggas and steal cars. Had the dust spot biting, shaking a silk jaw.
We live how we been, you gotta feel this. We come equipped with full clips, real shit. Yeah, it's the bullpen, we running through that bullshit. To the death, we never left off that real shit. See, we live how we been, you gotta feel this. We come equipped with full clips for that bullshit. Yeah, it's the bullpen, we spit raw and peel shit. To the death, nigga, yeah.
Yeah, that gun check, man, lock and load right here. 354 shit, DBlock shit, huh? Let's go, Big Mike.
Oh. Welcome to that shit, niggas. Niggas. Bookie Boss. My nigga Snyp Life. Roadkill. Don't get ran the fuck over. Don't get in our way. Sit back. Light your blunts up. Get your drink ready. Throw your hoodie on. Go outside. What the fuck you gonna do? Do it. But get ready for this shit right here. Bookie Boss. You know what I mean? Everything's a bet. Everything's a go. And I bet my arm that all my niggas will fuck up all your niggas. Word. Yo, Snyp, hold that shit down, my nigga. Let me hear some of this ill shit that you got in the motherfucking stash. Bookie Boss.
Yeah! You know what it is. You had that feeling when you seen us, nigga. Right? They get pissy drunk and mad high. Yeah, that's DBlock. My niggas is mad live. They be in shootouts and night fights. Yeah, that's DBlock. Shit real life, right? They be in the hood with they crimey niggas. Yeah, that's DBlock. We still grimy niggas. They be in the streets like they own the shit. Yeah, that's DBlock. We claim ownership. I don't give a fuck about not one of your plugs. I come through swinging a chopper like a golf club, and I don't give a fuck about rap. I got a raw plug. As soon as I get out of the booth, I'm copping more drugs. Cop shot, bag up, sell, make the block rush. Flush the task force, they gon' have to call SWAT. Fuck your arm, like a nigga, get your top cut. Say the Ben told y'all haters, bitch on time's up. I tie a nigga moms up, beat her with a crowbar, grab the vice grips, rip a motherfucking nose off. That's the definition of war. No holds barred. Killer be killed, cocksucker. Bucky go hard.
Too hard, who large? Bitch niggas high skate. I be on the grind late. Large got a bite and I ain't even using live bait. Whip it real fast, man. The crack made Holly put our J in the trash can. 2 guns up, we fit in them all. Decorate the crime scene the same way minutes went off. Chauffeurs open suicide doors for the bosses. The coupe got 515 horses. Larger thumb breaking bookies. School of hard knocks ain't for the hookie. Home mech in the kitchen cooking cookies. My niggas move weight like they bodybuilding. And every day they find a body in somebody's building. We in the streets.
They get pissy drunk and mad high. Yeah, that's DBlock. My niggas is mad live. They be in shootouts and night fights. Yeah, that's DBlock. Shit real life, right? They be in the hood with they crimey niggas. Yeah, that's DBlock. We still grimy niggas. They be in the streets like they own the shit. Yeah, that's DBlock. We claim ownership.
Told us the live wire, nigga. Damn, nigga, try to force my hand. All it takes is gas in the match for me to torture fans. Next is a corner van, pulling off with bodies. If a 9 don't kill him, I'ma blow him with a shot. I'm aiming for his head, but I settle for a chest wound. Catch him at the restaurant, walking out the restroom. This DBlock, bitch. Do my dirty, keep my hands clean. They try and build a case, I'ma bounce like a trampoline. Lawyers on standby, cops in the pocket. Niggas thought kids left, so I'm throwing up the rock shit. LOX fam for life. Burton 354, move 1,000 grams a night. Shit.
Straws quicker to unholster the gun. Shook niggas, slowly hand over the fun. Give me that crook, nigga. Show you how it's supposed to be done. Open book, nigga. Show you how it's supposed to be won. I can show you with a cannon, similar to Manning. Went home the road with little bit of planning. A little bit. Kerosene tie nigga up. Trailblazing like Shannon. Fry nigga up. Who want what? Stash box in the Lambo. 2 guns tucked. Extra clips full of ammo. DBlock, nigga. Still nothing to drop something. 9mm, I'm a shotgun, I'm not frontin'.
They get pissed drunk and mad high. Yeah, that's DBlock. My niggas is mad live. They be in shootouts and night fights. Yeah, that's DBlock. Shit real life, right? They be in the hood with they crimey niggas. Yeah, that's DBlock. We still grimy niggas. They be in the streets like they own the shit. Yeah, that's DBlock. We claim ownership.
Open up the safe, I go hard every time that you face mine. KC flow, so the bars got baselines. Get it? I don't waste mines. Flip it while you break dimes. Get it how I live it, straight digits while you chase time. I run through these new niggas. You could bring your truest nigga. Send them back leaking, show his crew how I blew this nigga. Even to the old heads, pop them like a clutch on a moped. Leave my balls carved in they forehead. Nigga is 354, I leave them all dead. It's 32 up in that joint, homie, raw lead. Whole weight with heat cock, my nigga, that's DBlock. 2 guns down, but this pound's got the streets locked.
Yeah, that's DBlock, yeah, that's SP. Ghost off Phantom or whatever to suit you. Murdered niggas in the streets, up in the booth, don't shoot through. Whoever produced you, whoever managed you, or hit you with some bars that'll really fucking damage you. Ranked as a boss, but I'll always be an animal. Bangs out, anywhere you hangs out. Chills that, Merc, you hit your son with a krill pack. White boys too, I hit your son with a pill pack. Hardcore too hard, knocking Wu-Tang when the car make the U-guard. Shooting 2 things is bizarre. How the ghost always likes to take it too far. They get pissed and drunk and mad high. Yeah, that's DBlock. My niggas is mad live. They be in shootouts and night fights. Yeah, that's DBlock. Shit real life, right? They be in the hood with they crimey niggas. Yeah, that's DBlock. We still grimy niggas. They be in the streets like they own the shit. Yeah, that's DBlock. We claim ownership.
Yeah. Episode 260 is underway. What it do, y'all? This your boy, King Eric the Great, a.k.a. Rick Capo, coming at y'all with episode 260, alongside with my co-host, T-Max with the facts.
What it do? OTC in the place to be on a Friday, man. We're about to get it. Sponsored by Da Vinci Clothing and Buddy Boy Entertainment. Shout out to our host in spirit, Illa the Sandman, and Lady Chinchilla, who's so illa. So, yeah, man, we about to roll with it.
Yeah, we're about bars tonight. We're bringing a lot of bars to the table, man. And I want to give you the honors of introducing our guest of the night here.
I'd be honored. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight's guest is one of the undisputed rhyme heavyweights of the Big East, coming straight out of the YO for Yonkers, if you don't know. The man has the soul of Mary J. in his flow and the hardcoreness of his fellow rhyme brethren, the LOX and DMX, of course, with the LOX being a member of DBlock as well. We want to bring to you, with much honor, with much humility, one of the illest rhyme spitters with the genius of hits and the greatness of weights in the words that'll hit you in the face like a metal plate. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the undisputed Snyp Life himself. What up, man?
Yo, what up? What's good, my brother? Shout out to all the people checking in. 260, we live, huh?
Yeah,
man. Baby. In the building.
Hey, yo, real quick, I just want to say, that introduction, though, was crazy just now. I was feeling like a prize fighter, like, you know what I'm saying? Word up.
That man like he about to jump in the ring, do some damage out there.
Word, no, that was ill, man. I much humbly appreciate the gesture, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man, I come from the bottom, man, so I love doing these type of joints, man, so I appreciate y'all having me. You feel me?
Definitely,
no doubt,
man.
Brother.
Definitely. We appreciate you so much coming on our show, man, you know. And shout out to your manager, of course, Lady Bella.
No doubt.
She was the one to put this together for us. Shout out to your girl. We know you're listening. More or less anything, Snyp. one thing about this show, Snype, is that we've always, King, this is his brainchild, and one thing about it is that we've always wanted, in our mission with this, to always give the limelight to artists such as yourself, who, like you said, come from the bottom, who know what the hustle is, coming up hard, with the bars, making a way in the industry, and as we all know, as being students of the game, like you said in your rhymes, people think because you're around celebrities that you made it, but the fact is that a lot of people don't know the blood, the sweat, the tears, the sleepless nights, the pains, the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the traverses and the travels that it takes, to really make it.
That's a fact. That's a fact, brother.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely, man. Let's take it from the top. We got a couple hours, man. So go ahead. Tell us about yourself, from your beginnings to what your inspirations were, how you hooked up. I mean, wherever you want to go with it, man. It's off the cuff. So we say the stuff, keeping it unfiltered and all real. So go ahead.
No doubt, man. I mean, shit, man. It's, it's a lot of different methods to my madness, you know what I'm saying? But just to kind of start at the top, because, I realized just from the experience, like, you always could teach somebody that didn't know, certain things about you, something new every day. So, like as many interviews that I might have done, you know what I'm saying, in my past, I always like to, give the timeline, you know what I mean, for the people that may not know, because everybody don't know, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, man, I'm just a hip hop kid, man. Just to put it in the simplest form, man. Came from a single parent home, so my mom's was like real flashy. She was a Harlem girl. She had me young, so she had me listening to Big Daddy Kane and Eric B and Rakim and Kool G Rap and all that shit. Like when I was just a toddler, you know what I'm saying? So. I was already,
so you were set early.
Yeah, I was groomed. I was groomed as a baby. Like that's what I said. Like I'm a hip hop kid because, like, I had different phases. Phases from when I didn't understand what I was listening to until I gained the conscience, and then it made sense. You know what I'm saying? So, I say something like that in my rhyme. One of my songs. It's like the difference with us is that we grew up with it and they grew on to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big difference. So, long story short, as I was saying, just early stages, listening to the greats, the GOATs, and I started writing rhymes myself, probably around 9 years old, 10 years old. I was writing my first little raps and shit like that. So, like I said, I was grooming myself early. I always knew I was gonna do this though, like not to sound cliche, but it was like as a kid, I always looked in the mirror, practice rhyming with the brush in my hand, you know what I'm saying? And I always knew this was my destiny though, just to be heard, to be respected from the culture, because that's the part that I came from when it was relevant to have bars. Like you didn't have bars, nobody wasn't even paying attention to your shit, and you wasn't coming into the cipher looking crazy neither. You wasn't coming into the cipher with tight jeans and leotard, looking all ridiculous and all that. Like you wasn't even doing that then. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, but, like my early experiences, though, geared me for when I really came hand in hand, face to face with hip hop. And that was just being around the big brothers, being around DMX, being around the LOX, being 12, being 13, and being able to rap for them. And they like, yo, nice, shorty, nice. You know what I'm saying? So I always was motivated because we always knew that they was going to make it. It was just a matter of time. So for them to tell me, like, yo, we got you, just keep working, I was always motivated by that. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a blessing to be able to be in the same neighborhood as them. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, coming outside, they right outside my door. We all from the same block. So when I met them as a shorty and I was already rapping, it just made them like, yo, come fuck with it. Every time they was out on the hood, the OG drug dealers and all that, they always sent for me. Yo, go get shorty, let him come rap with niggas. Like, so that's how I kind of got my shit going. And, from there, just fast forwarded into, making my early tracks and doing all that shit. But, it's different when you coming up in the golden era, you coming up in the 90s of hip-hop. Like, it's a whole different type of you know what I'm saying, vibe like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm outside, I'm doing all the little shit I'm rapping about. So I'm getting in trouble, I'm getting caught up, you know what I'm saying? Which leads me to say, like, a lot of the shit that happened for me with my developing my style was actually my gift and my curse. Because, you know, I went to jail at a young age. I went to prison at a young age. There's a difference between jail and prison. And I was a young dude trying to survive and find his way in the grown man's world for trying to think I was too grown. You know what I'm saying? Little nigga on the block thinking he know everything. I get jammed up. That was my curse. But the gift was, I don't feel like I was ever really nice rapping until I was in jail. Like, I was able to focus. You know what I'm saying? I was able to really pinpoint how I needed to create my verses. And I developed all that shit in prison, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home, I was already ready to go. And that's how you got, like, the whole DBlock shit, because they was already rolling by the time I came home. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of jumped in, put my work in. I dropped dozens of mixtapes. Jump right in, and then we have it. No security. You know, I heard you playing a record or two off No Security. That's how we did all of that, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's been DBlock ever since. Yeah, so, and you know, like, another fun fact, like, I tell, oh, go ahead, brother, say that again.
Oh, my fault. Man, I was going to say then with those ciphers and everything, like, usually how they do clicks now where you had to get signed. Now, when you get on DBlock, did you had to, like, battle different people to get on DBlock? Was it, like, competitive?
Yeah, that's a very good question because, like, you know, we come from, you know, the era of the lyrics and the bars and shit like that. So, like, even with the Rough Rider camp, like, you know, you had to go in the pit. You know what I'm saying? And you had to be able to hold your own. You know what I'm saying? And that was automatic, like, but. Like, for me, it was different because, you know, like, I came in, I was already, you know what I mean, established. I was already, you know what I mean, already buzzing, moving around. So, like, having me actually was an addition, not to toot my own horn, but I worked hard for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I sacrificed a lot. I came home from prison. I incorporated my company. My company name is 354 Entertainment. That's my block. That's where the LOX is from. That's where Snyp Life is from, 354. So I incorporated my block, turned it into a label, and then I just put, like, wild mixtapes out under my belt just to get a name, to get a buzz. You know what I'm saying? So when I really, like, see them on the block, they like, yo, we doing a DBlock album. Yo, we need you on the album. It was like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, up until that point, I technically really wasn't down with DBlock. It's just we from the same hood, so everybody just assumed we were one because we chilled together. You know what I'm saying? They would still jump on my freestyle, because, you know, I was really mostly doing the mixtape circuit. You know what I mean? So they would jump on my little mixtapes and shit like that. But it wasn't never no real sign and seal deal situation until we dropped the No Security album. And I was asked to come, you know, invited to come to the studio and, you know, work on the album with us. And, like, that one visit turned into me just being there every day for months. You know what I'm saying? It just happened like that. So I didn't really have to, like, battle nobody. I was already established, like, you know what I'm saying? So it just was like a natural fit. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? And we just ran with it, though. We went on tour. You know what I'm saying? We toured for the little project. We dropped that. No Security under Koch Music at the time. They turned it into E1 Music. Koch Records turned it into E1 Music. So they had us on a tour. We did the whole East Coast, and we were just grinding, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like no big major. We just was like independent, running. You know what I'm saying? It just made sense for us, though.
Definitely. Now, Snyp, there's so much that you said, and we can touch it on bit by bit.
Right.
Because a lot of people, we're going to take it back to a little bit going down to the block, you know, where you started. Because, of course, a lot of people, this is where a lot of people really don't understand about how a lot of guys, how some of these, because a lot of times the average hip-hop head is only going to see artists after they get on. But they don't understand the backstory in terms of how a lot of these guys, you know, came up prior to. Shout out to Ty Nitty and, you know, MC Shan of QB, you know, 41st Side, because we've had them on our show. And we would talk to them about how they all, you know, knew each other coming up. And it was like, you know, and for your, you know, in your youth coming up, man, I mean, you know, growing up with the LOX and DMX, a lot of people don't know about with DMX, a track he had called Born Loser in 1992. And this would still be 6 years before he actually blew up, with Def Jam. Of course, a lot of people with the Get At Me Dog, a single, the LOX were on the B side with that freestyle as well. So the history between all of you is very distinguished and deep in its roots.
Right.
And also, too, you came up at... Oh, go ahead, please.
No,
go ahead.
Real quick, I just hold that thought real quick. I just want to share something with y'all that maybe, like I said, people may not know, but this is off the cuff, so we keep it at 100, right? So
yeah, go ahead, whatever you want to say.
Just as a testament to, like, the essence, like me being a shorty, I was always around that shit. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, when DMX did Get At Me Dog, there's two different versions. You know what I'm saying? And only the people that originally was around knew, like, the first version, and they changed it for political reasons. You know what I'm saying? But there was a part in the song. There was a part in the song where he was dissing Tupac, and he was dissing the whole West Coast and all of that. And people never knew that. Yeah, people never knew that. That was some old school, because it was like, everybody know X story. Everybody know X struggles and, his addictions and all that. Everybody know that. He shared that with the world. You know what I'm saying? But there was a situation where he was supposed to be getting down with Death Row. They had Snoop and Suge and Y.O. at Rough Rider Studio. I was a shorty. Like, they was like, yo, Snoop and them is down in the studio. What? We go down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they was supposed to be doing some business with X, but I think they didn't want to fuck with X at the time because, X was in the street. X was as real as it gets. All that shit he talking about, X was really out there doing that shit. So they didn't really want to fuck with him, I think, because of that. And I think he just was kind of tight, and then he just flipped. But they end up changing that shit. Because then, he had the beef with K Solo. Everybody know he had the beef with K Solo.
Yeah,
so
Spellbound. The song Spellbound, correct?
The line. So the line that he was talking about Pop, he switched it and put it to K Solo. That's what people's hearing. That's what people don't know. Only original niggas know that. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, on Off the Cuff, you just got an exclusive that nobody has probably ever heard before by the man himself, Snyp Life, who just gave the history of DMX's Get At Me Dog in the two versions. Only on Off the Cuff, y'all. Call number is 1-619-924-07. Oh, 0703.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo, I was a shorty. I went on missions with X. I went on missions. When we call a mission, that means when we going out to rob something. I went on missions with X. He skipped on me. He robbed a nigga. He said, yo, I'm gonna break down. Be right back, dog. Nigga skipped on me. I ain't seen X in fucking 3 years after that. You know what I'm saying? But this is real. This is real shit. This is real shit. Like, X was the type that he'll rob you and then come and try to sell your shit back to you. You know what I'm saying? And that was just how we was raised, though. So, like, me coming through, like, being a little rapper shorty and all that, I was able to stay outside a little later than my friends, my peers. So when X would come through, shorty do the beat. I would do the beat on the wall, and they would rap. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's how I had my relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? And then I would rap, and I would still continue to do the beat. And it's hard to do the beat and rap at the same time, but I knew how to do that as a kid. So they always used to like me for me to rap because I could do that. So that just always spurred me on. You know what I'm saying? Always spurred me on, being around greats.
Definitely. Now, the one thing about it, too, Snyp, is coming up in the era, we came up in, shout out, to Rap City, the Music Box, Yo on TV Raps. You came up in a time where, of course, if you were from New York, you was around real spitters to begin with. So the rhyme pedigree and carrying on tradition and the greats was already expected. It was not only expected, it was mandatory. And also as well, it was from a perspective of this is pre-social media. So this is actually a situation where you are affiliated with not only the heavyweights of the hood, but it's also the fact that your reputation rings bells all across that echoes excellence. So from there, you're able to distinguish yourself. And as you said about when you had to do, your sit down for a second, one thing about it is that, if I paraphrase my man Red from Shawshank Redemption, he said all you have in prison is time and all the time in the world to think about it. So basically, it gives you time to hone your craft in terms of really able to concentrate on your compositions and really be able to assert your position coming out. So, you know, in terms of the time when you came out, because the LOX from, you know, and please, you know, get me correct on the timelines if I'm off, the LOX started making their mixtape run around the early 1995 and beyond until they got, you know, on Bad Boy, I believe, in 97.
Right.
So you're looking at roughly about a 2-year stretch of where these guys are just burning it up. I got on the mixtape game late. So, but these guys were already burning it up on the scene, establishing reputations. Of course, X was right on the precipice of signing with Def Jam as well. So pretty much when you get out and you got all these guys like, you know, these are niggas from your hood who are not only, you know, certified, you know, gunners, you know, on the rhyme, spraying everything in sight, but they are also ready to become major being on a label. What was that like, and what did you just, how was that feeling for everybody at the time, knowing that, like, you know, we about to really blast off?
Yeah, it was happening.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, man, it was overwhelming. It was exciting. I was anticipating it, like, cause you know, I missed a lot of that, like with them, you know, when they first was coming out with Bad Boy and the mixtapes and the album was getting ready. Money, Power, Respect, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Like, so we already knew from previous, just a feeling amongst us in the hood, you know, we just know it. But when we see that the world, like everybody else started this, like, you know, from the cool tapes and all of that, like, it was just overwhelming, man, because I even tell them to this day, like, I sit with Luch, I sit with Styles, or I'm chilling, blowing with Kiss, and, like, I would mention that shit, like, yo, it's just sometimes the shit is surreal, like, and like, you just, you know, appreciate, you know, being able to be around greatness because it was a lot of us, and now it's not the same, you know what I mean? The same people don't always end up with you at the end. So, like, you get used to being around them. Like, I'm so used to being around them that I don't look at them as stars or as legends, but I always acknowledge them as I always remind them that, yo, you know, y'all my big bros, y'all my niggas, but, yo, y'all niggas is legends, B. Like, I just appreciate that you know, like, we family, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we on the same team. Like, I'm grateful, like, because I lived the knucklehead life, you know what I'm saying? So none of this shit was promised. That's why I approach the music the way I do, and that's why I'm so genuinely, like, down to earth, because, like, I didn't have a lot of those shots, and when I probably could have, when I should have been standing next to them to catch those earlier, I missed those opportunities. So, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's just like a rebirth, like, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Now we want to revisit. Oh, go ahead, King. Now
I'm thinking of two records that's what made the LOX and DMX really get that anticipation up was 24 Hours to Live and Money, Power, Respect. Those two records there was huge.
Right on. And you know what's crazy, though? I'll tell you some real shit, though. You know what's crazy? Yo, because, like, everybody that knows, like, all the original, like I say, I always keep referring to, because it's, you know, it's a different era from when this shit was first happening, you know what I mean? But everybody that was around to witness or be a part of that era, I was just a kid, but I was able to be around it because I was able to stay outside and XYZ. But, yo, X used to make these tapes, and the tapes would have, like, Spanish music on one side and, like, it have 20 freestyles on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And, yo, like, the first album, it's like, that's how you knew they were so ahead of their time, because it's like at least 50, maybe 75% of that shit is shit that he already had. They just put it on real beat, and he made hooks and, you know what I mean? But most of that shit was already constructed. When I tell Luch all the time, when she did the verse for All About the Benjamins, I heard that verse way before he put that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a rap he just happened to have type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't understand in terms of the compositions because, you know, there's always the elements of, you know, they're never throwaway rhymes because you can always use them. It just may not be that time for the rhyme. But the thing is, what may be old to somebody else is new to the audience, because once it's finally put down, like you said, with the proper padding in terms of production and arrangements and having the outlet to release it on, you have that wider audience to where the words really resonate, out there, and I think that's something, and to listen to it, was something that, when we first heard it, it was like, man, and as you said, because we got to touch on a couple of elements again, when you it's about, just watching that blow up. Now, Snyp, you came up in an era where, a lot of the young heads out here really don't understand in terms of the old New York, how grimy it was out there, and you had to, and you dealt with some things, and by the grace of God, you were able to get through that situation. But yet and still, we see a lot of artists out here who try to, either fabricate their past or either reckless and glorifying past indiscretions, not understanding, the destruction that comes along with it. When you were, having your time off, what really was the epiphany for you that was like, yo, I really got to make this shit work once I get out of here?
I mean, it was just, besides the obvious, the obvious would be like, your family, you know what I'm saying? And, getting back to, seeing that it hurts your family even sometimes more than it hurts you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they losses are even greater, but you don't look at it at that point from that perspective. But when you get a chance to step outside yourself and you look in, it's like, damn, you hurting your family by doing this shit, dragging them through this process with you. Like, so that was one of the things. But I think one other thing that was probably just as important, but probably was more of a driving force, was just the fact that I see the development of what they was doing. I see how they was popping. Everybody knew who they was. So I'm like, yo, I got to get home because I'm about to do that shit with them niggas. And, you in jail with all kind of, all these ignorant, tough guys and shit. So, niggas' egos and niggas like, man, you don't know them niggas, man. Yo, you get the, those my niggas, that's my hood. You going back and forth. So that shit was a thriver for me because, like, God, by the graces of God, I manifested all of that shit. Like, a lot of the dudes I knew dudes that was doing 20 years, and they just now coming home, like, from 10 years ago, like, and they like, yo, Snyp, like, yo, you really fucking out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you said it. You said you was going to do it. And that's one of the greatest feelings in the world for me because, it's like the before and after. Like, if you have belief, your faith is in it, you know what I'm saying? You get rewarded by how big your faith is. You know what I mean? So me sitting in the can, I'm looking at the TV, I'm seeing all the videos. I'm like, oh shit, like that's what really, made me say, all right, I got to get my shit together. And luckily I was able to, you know what I'm saying, and catch it.
Definitely. Now, upon your release when you got out, because you were really moving heavy in terms of you were already polished on the rhymes and everything, and you, before the mixtape blitz and all that, because the business comes before the music. As you got into the game, what did you learn about the business itself in terms of what it really entails in terms of, because a lot of people think the trajectory of success is simply you get in, you get signed, or you're down with the crew, you put out an album, boom, you rich. But I paraphrase my man, Red Cafe. Shout out to Flatbush in Brooklyn. Red had an interview years ago where he once said, when you're signed, it doesn't mean that you're rich and that your life has changed. It just means you have an opportunity. What was it like getting out and just, realizing, in terms of it, the business aspect of it and what you had to do to really, in terms of establishing your company, getting your mixtapes out, and the whole logistics of getting all your movements in terms of making sure the music was heard?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that. Like you said, it's just like you said, shout out to my homie Red Cafe. It's a good brother. He was on that No Security album with us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's just recognizing that it's a business, like, and, rapping is just a third of it, you know what I'm saying? And in order to be successful, you have to be able to handle your business. And, again, certain shit just ain't for everybody, you know what I mean? And everybody got a different approach. Like, for me, I always treated the rap game like the trap game, you know what I'm saying? Like, I unfortunately for me, I felt like those were the choices that I had to make at that time of my life. So, like, this shit I really was doing. Like, I really got my hands dirty. I'm out here doing this shit. Like, so the mentality that I had from hustling, I incorporated it into rap. Like, you can't get into hustling and selling drugs and you don't know what, certain shit is. You don't know how much a half is. You don't know what a 62 is. You don't know what a big eighth is. And what the fuck is you hustling for? So it's the same thing with rapping. Like, if you don't know how to, get your sound scans, or, you don't know how to get your shit published, then you fucking wasting time then. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you need to stay over there with the suckers that want to rap for the love and shit. That shit is cool, but at some point you got to know how to handle your business, or people will handle your business for you. And I've been through those type of situations. That's part of my experience, letting other people handle my business for me and getting hit with the short end of the stick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made me really take this shit serious and really learn the game. You know what I'm saying? That I was trying to get into. So, and that's before I got with DBlock. Like, I had that mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Especially when the streaming game now, because it used to be times where people would just operate off selling out word of mouth with the CDs and stuff like that. So now we transition into a new era with digital streaming, and a lot of that pie is getting cut. So it's more of a motivation, if anything, to get focused more on the business side first and foremost, because that pie is getting sliced. That pie slice is getting smaller and smaller every time and every change.
Facts.
Definitely,
and that's
man.
the thing, though. Like that's a good point you touched on. Like, you got to know how to you got to know how to aggress with the, adjust and change with the game. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, we was pumping our shit out of the back of the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And then it just went digital. Like, one day, it just was like, fuck them CDs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even now, like, that's still going to be a part of the culture. But like you said, the driving force is bringing you to a different stage of the game. And you got to know how to, you know what I mean, reinvent your shit and adjust with it.
Definitely. And I'm sure, Snyp, as you saw the game progress, before you even got with DBlock, before, it was event, because DBlock will come a couple years later in terms of the actual group that we know it as now. What was the situation like to see the bad, going to the days of what happened once the Bad Boy situation really started to kind of get taxing on the crew? What did you learn about the business aspect of that as well, and especially how all of you were so proactive with the Free the Lock, Let the Locks Go campaign, because of course at this time, Rough Riders was already managing them, and by proxy you all were connected with that. So of course there was that push to try to get the Locks released from their contracts. What did you learn as well in terms of negotiations and how that business played out behind closed doors?
Yeah, I mean, we learned everything from watching them, to come back to the block, talking about the shit, situations, events, and what's going on and shit. So as it was unfolding, we were just kind of getting it from them. But, it just made us open our eyes to different parts of the game that we wasn't paying attention to. Like you on set, you know what I'm saying, chilling, here go a case of Chris, you know what I'm saying, here go whatever you need, whatever weed, whatever you need. But at the same time, niggas over there keeping a tab on everything. Like, you want to fly or you want to bring your whole block? Come on. But at the end of the day, that shit came back, you know what I mean? And that's what we learned, though, that, damn, we didn't know that part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't even looking at it from that perspective. So it made us be more aware of, like, you know what I mean, budgets and how they work and, percentages and how they work and, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we really, really got that whole independent mind state. We got that from them, from when they, you know what I'm saying, decided that would be what was best for them at the time. You know what I'm saying? All we could do is just support, because we from the hood, so it's like, you know what I mean? They putting us on the map, like, you know what I mean? So it's like whatever they went through, though, they came and shared with us. That's what we learned, though, because we didn't know, like, that part of the game. Obviously, they didn't either. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And then we learned that this shit ain't never personal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, matter of fact, because one line Jada said, I better have my ass cap or you're going to get your ass capped. And for a lot of the people out there that don't know, your ass cap, your BMI, all that's your publishing in terms of your intellectual property in terms of it. Now, and off the cuff, we never chatty-patty and we never gossip and we never tell tall tales that crash like demolition buildings, hurting feelings, because everything we speak on the show, we always try to be 100% accurate. So we know about the situation and what was going on in terms of how that thing was happening with them where Puffy, basically owned their publishing. And that was one of the big issues going on. And as an artist, you especially being one of the elite MCs that you are, your words are your wisdom. Your thoughts are the trace of your realness, and that's something that you hold. If nothing else, that's something that is important. That the rhymes you write are yours. That nobody can take that away from you. And that's definitely, I think, an element of the business. In terms of where you see the game right now, where do you see a lot of young artists coming in terms of where they're not understanding? Because a lot of times now, like King said, between, you got your streaming and everything, everybody's looking at YouTube and, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for what they perceive as the actualization, the proximization and the actualization of, their popularity. But in reality, that's not a true barometer of where they really, popping at. How do you see a lot of artists making mistakes in terms of mistaking social media notoriety for real celebrity status?
Right.
Yeah, how do you see that? How do you see a lot of artists making that mistake right now?
It's just really, more focus on the look, you know what I'm saying, than really the political side. I think the political side always get overlooked by the younger artists because they just chasing that fame, they chasing the clout, you know what I'm saying, to have this many followers or this many views, you know what I'm saying, and I just think they just kind of go about the game in reverse, you know what I'm saying, but the politics is really kind of the part that gets overshadowed, and that's the part that usually bites them, you know what I'm saying, bites them in the ass later on, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Now let's take it back to you. Just take it back to you in terms of your first mixtape. So tell us all about your very first project when you were like, all right, I'm ready to lock and load. I'm ready to blast off. So tell us about your first project that you ever did and what went into it.
Man, that was a lot of projects to go, but always always the excitement to be heard. You know what I mean? Like I think before the money came, like it was more about the recognition. It was about the love first. Like we had to get that conquered. You know what I mean? Because I used to see. As a kid coming to the store, I used to see the OGs, the drug dealers, the older heads and all that. We used to be saying the EPMD shit like, yo, the crossover, like, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Like, so I always used to keep that in mind. Like, when I dropped my shit, the first thing I wanted was the respect, you know what I'm from it. So, like, I think my first project was probably more like a mixtape, you know what I'm saying, that I put together with K Slay and Big Mike, and I was real excited about that. So, this was like my debut, like my first major joint that people would probably get a chance to recognize or hear me on. So it was just the anticipation. And that was from the era too, like, like you would go just to go, like I would go hop the train, go downtown, go to Music Hut in Harlem and shit like that, where all the DJs would drop off their tapes, and we would go and just to get one freestyle. You on there? It's 25 joints on the mixtape. You number 23, but you can't wait to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? I came from that. So, you know what I mean? I was just excited to be able to drop my own shit, like, and then I did a whole volume, though. Instead of just dropping one, I did part 1, part 2, and part 3. And that's how it just started my legacy with the mixtapes. Like, I would always just drop volumes, you know what I'm saying? From my Road Killer series to my Best Of, my Bookie Bars. They all series, though, you know what I'm saying? So we're just showing my work ethic.
Definitely. Now, there's
I'm
one
glad you
project
brought
I
up the
want to ask.
mixtape.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, can you go ahead?
Say again?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was glad that you brought up how it was for rookie MCs to come into the mixtape game, because if you wasn't in the top 10 track listing, it was gonna be a struggle for you to be heard, because those mixtapes used to run like 35 songs deep. Like it was with the heavyweight.
Right.
Then they'll start with the posse cuts. Then they'll get the rookies on the way bottom, and niggas had to literally work their way up to that top 10 so they could be heard.
Right. Work your way up, man. And then now that, like, once you get in that top 10, though, like, shit was looking real different for you. Because then you get more features to be on more tapes from more DJs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, because this is during the time in the late 90s and such, early 2000s. This is where you got guys like Ransom coming up. You got, some kid, from Brooklyn. I think you know him, named Fabulous.
Right.
He was making
Hell
his
yeah.
come up. Bathgate. So many people.
Brothers, all the brothers was killing all the crew tapes and all of them envies and all of that shit. Like, word, we was right there though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like dropping our shit. Like, yeah, those niggas is fire. Like, this is what we got to do. You know what I mean? To get our shit on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we wasn't using the affiliation. Like, I never really used the affiliation. Like, it was just me coming into the ranks, going through each stage. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get the affiliation, then your shit is like, it's a different type of, that's the politics stuff. That's a whole nother thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Big Mike and K. Slay, and shout out to K. Slay, the drama king, the Harlem heat maker, the OG
big homie
himself.
right there. Word.
AKA, for those who don't know, Dez, and only true heads know what the Dez means.
Right on.
He's one of those guys that is the elder statesman of the game, going back, to Style Wars, for those, that's how far, we all go back with it. So that's a situation where, he was like, when you got that cosign from Slay to get on for him to helm up your project, to be on it, what was that like when you just knew that, like, this is one of the gods of it, like the pioneers, what was that like?
Man, it's overwhelming, man. It's humbling, man. He hit you with the famous, he got that famous damn. He hit you with that damn in between my verses and shit, like, like he was really into it. It was just exciting, man, because like you said, Slay is one of those dudes, though. Like, when Slay opened that portal, like, Slay always, that's what separated him, in my opinion, from the other DJs. Because if he liked your shit, if he fucked with it, then he was putting your shit out there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no political shit attached to it, just real nigga shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man, just to have him, and then to tell me to, send me some more shit, like, that was, you know what I mean? Slay, that's the big homie, though, you know what I'm saying? So, real G shit right there.
Yeah, man. Shout out to K. Slayer, Straight Stunting Magazine, of course, Shady 45 with the Street Sweeper Show. This is Off the Cuff Radio, sponsored by Da Vinci Clothing and Buddy Boy Entertainment. King Eric the Ruler, Illa Artist Sandman, and Late Chinchilla So Illa, in their spirit, our co-host, and myself, T-Max with the Facts. We are live on the air, coming direct with Snyp Life from DBlock. Call numbers 1-619-924-0703. Yeah, man. So in terms of as you progress, there was one project I wanted to ask you about that was just like nuclear on, just straight nuclear, the NY90s. What was that? What went into that project?
Oh man, that was a lot of fun, man. Like, man, and you know what's so crazy? Like, as an artist, like, I want to really make sure people understand, like, when I did mixtapes with DJs, right, I was the type of artist that, and this is for Big Mike, Slay, this for any DJ that I ever did anything with or for, I always created the vision. I always created the theme. I made the DJ's job very easy because my shit came with instructions. I would send an email with instructions attached. What point of the record I want cut, how many minutes and seconds to play this for, play this after this after this. Like, I came up with the whole shit. So for New York 90s, that was like one of those joints, one of my favorite joints, because I took literally, if you listen, you know, throughout the tape, it's a lot of clips from a lot of 90s era movies. People didn't really know where a lot of the clips came from, but pretty much all of the clips, interludes and the intros and the skits, they were all from 90s movies like Strapped, Above the Rim, or like all the old school hood joints, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I put the whole joint together, man. I had 3 DJs, you know what I'm saying? I had 3 DJs, like, we all got together. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, what you want to do? Like, I'm like, yo, I always was screaming like New York 90s. Like, before I heard anybody really talking about it, like, that was always my thing. Like, that's part of my slogan, like, you know what I'm saying? So to be able to put the mixtape out with my vision and get the response I got, again, man, it was just humbling, man. It was like, yeah, man, see, niggas like the shit that I like. Like, this is like some shit I handcrafted. Like if you fuck with this, then you fuck with the shit that I like, because this is the type of shit I like. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I got a big response from New York 90s. Even now, they still asking me about doing Volume 2.
You know, Snipe, it's crazy because, you know, one thing about it is that a lot of times, you know, from where we are, you know, being older men, but not, you know, older, angry men, you know, a lot of the youth don't understand it, because from the era we came up in, when we look at the movies, the music, the attitudes, the dress, all of that.
The energy.
You know, it came from the energy, like King just said. The whole vibe, the whole aura was just totally different back then. And it really wasn't about necessarily having the validation of, you know, of a record company that may not necessarily understood your vision, but the streets were paramount in terms of, you know, putting you on. So especially with the movies, you know, even with the movies, like, you know, Strapped, shout out to Bokeem Woodbine, you know, and Fredro Starr, you know, one of the illest movies. And shout out to HBO Studios for producing that. Yes. You know, but when you look at a lot of those movies like New Jack City, Menace to Society, The Walking Dead, I mean, you know, there was a cinematic effect, an authenticity, a grit, a reality, something that was our experience in the hood that was depicted in a way that today just is lacking. And I mean, for you doing that, you brought back a bygone era of something that a lot of the youth today won't understand, but need the instructions on. You know, but also what you said was also very paramount, because a lot of times the way you gave instructions ahead of time in terms of how you want to structure it means you had a specific conceptualization of how you wanted this delivered to the listening public, which is the epitome of what a professional is, because you knew exactly everything you wanted. A lot of times people put out mixtapes and it's just jointed. It's a bunch of songs. There's no sequencing. They don't fit. And you knew exactly in which the way. Yes. There was a story, and it was basically capturing the Big East at its most elite in terms of how the movie's articulated. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Nah, right, man. Just from the opening, just when it first come on, that's the opening scene from Belly. You know what I'm saying? And then I took them to Clockers, and you know, Clockers came out in what? Fucking 94,
95. Spike Lee, yes. Isaiah Washington, Bill Duke, you know, all of them. You know,
right.
Yeah.
And they brought up, and what was so ironic though was that I caught a clip of a conversation that they was having, but that was relevant to now. You know what I'm saying? And like how they was, because there's a part in the interlude where they talking about, like, yo, I don't want to fucking buy records from bitch ass rappers, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like they're naming rappers, and you know Sticky Fingers is an actor in it. So he's saying, them niggas ain't never body nothing, man. If it ain't hardcore, I don't want that shit. Like, and then the other kid is like, you don't gotta be hardcore to prove that you down. So, you know, like, all this shit was relevant to me. It made so much sense. It's like, you know, like, that era will always be one of one. It will never be another era like that, because everything was so ahead of its time. That's why we still doing re-editions of all of the 90 records. Even now, from all the pop songs to the rap songs, they're redoing it because, like, those moments like that from that movie and all these movies, these classic moments is like are one of they're the first of its kind. Like for the people that never had a voice, like this is the shit that we really like. We can relate to this shit. Like finally, there's some shit that I can relate to. I can fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, that was the driving force though behind putting that project together, man. Yeah, man, a lot of fun, man. I love that joint.
Definitely.
You still gonna
now,
do a part 2 though, right?
Say again?
You gonna still come with the part 2 like the sequel, right?
Yeah, I was saying about a part 2 that people still ask me now, like about putting out a part 2 to the New York 90s. That I probably I got some things in mind that I wanted to do with a couple of other DJs and shit. I like to pull DJs in and let them be creative and try to work with each other too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's how I got on. I got on my very first mixtape that I ever got on. It was a K Slay and Big Mike. They was together on the tape, like. And when DJ started doing that, it was crushing shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you see Envy and Enough, and, like, niggas was pairing up, like, so I was trying to give that feel, too, secretly, like, through that mixtape, to have different DJs together on it. Because I remember when I used to go cop DJ tapes, and, like, you know, you either get a Clue or you get a Flex or something, but like when you got those Green Lantern, Big Mike joints, like they used to have like a different level of exclusive shit because there's 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But yeah, man, definitely gonna load up a part 2. You know what I mean? On New York 90s, and we're gonna have some more fun with it.
Now, Snyp, how do you see the mixtape game has changed over the years in terms of? We know about the situation that happened, of course, with with DJ Drama and what happened to him some years ago when he got busted, and that kind of really shook up a lot of people. Jeezy has said, when that happened, that this shit is going to hurt the mixtape. It's going to hurt the music industry because mixtapes were always the precursor to really an artist, getting out an album. It was a setup because that's how artists were getting their name out there. Yeah. So, with the DJs that did them, because of course, all those guys, of course, Von G was among one of the new waves in the 90s, of course, Envy, K Slay, Big Mike, and, of course, with Envy, this dude has gone on and now he's hosting a Breakfast Club, K Slay has his own magazine, and has his own show. But back in the day, these were guys on the block who were on the radios or in the streets just putting it out there. How do you see the game, the paradigm shift change in terms of what DJs are doing now and how artists are really getting their stuff moved?
I mean, that shit, it's like now it's a microwave. Everything is microwave now. So, like, it's not really that much pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, consumers is just like, get disinterested in shit quick. So, like, it's more like a short, simple tactic now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, me personally, like, mixtapes are always, like for the cult, for the cult of the fans of that fucking, that era, like, of mixtapes, it's always going to be relevant in my book. You know what I'm saying? But, like, as far as, with the driving force of sales being more digital, it's just really about the streams. So, you know what I mean? I think that's the different effect now. Like, it's just more, they just streaming. They ain't even really. I haven't really heard like a dope mixtape in a long time, man, because a lot of shit is just like short, simple, like streamable, like little EPs type of setups, like, you know what I'm saying? So you just seeing how the game is just kind of diverse and it's diversifying, and it's, I think it's just more in the short order now. When we were shorties, like Nas, when Nas dropped Illmatic or it was written and all that, like, you would get the tape or you would get the CD. Whichever one at whatever part of time you had got the project, you would open up the sleeve, you would look at the artwork, you would read the production, you would read the shoutouts. Like, we was into that type of shit. Now, they don't even really care for that shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's microwavable now.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, when we were when we was young, man, it's like, the labels seem to have a better working relationship with the DJs as well because, of course, like I said, that was where you actually saw the setup for the albums. So, when you heard the tracks on the mixtape, that was like, it was about 50-50 because if you grabbed a lot of that stuff, some of that stuff was exclusive and sometimes they didn't make the album. But sometimes a lot of that did make the album. So this was like a taste of what, I remember the first time back in the day when I heard Criminology hit on the circuit, and I was like, whoa.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
And then of course they actually dropped the official single, but it's like when you hear that, and of course that was in 95, and of course in 96, when Lil Kim, Kim did Mafia Land, when she dropped that, it was like, that was heating up for, hardcore that would come. It was
crazy.
just
Crazy.
Yeah, man. That whole era, and I think a lot of times too with artists, for one thing is you have had an unyielding determination, a tenacious, tenacity, and just outright, loyalty to the game of hip hop, And I think what's happened with a lot of artists coming in the game today is that they do not, because, when we look at how it's come, there is a lot more money involved in it because you see now that it's become more corporate. So now you see everybody being able to make, now the videos are a little bit more elaborate. I'm gonna tell our listeners a little bit of history, and anyone can call and check me on it, like Charles Oakley in the Paint back in the day with the Bulls and Knicks if I'm wrong. This is how far videos have come. Back in the day in 1993, when Snoop Dogg did the What's My Name video, I believe that was at time for a rap video, one of the most expensive ever made. And I believe that video was like a $1.5–2 million on the budget because of all the special effects and everything. I do know that at the time, and I could be wrong, but I'm about 99% sure, this is considered like one of the most expensive videos at the time that was made. And this was in the 90s, of course, and in 96, Death Row Up the Ante again when they did the California Love video, with the Mad Max theme. And I think that was like $2 or $3 million. And now, we're looking at how the game has shifted. Bentleys, Ferraris, Rollies. This is shit back in the day. Yeah, it's like boats. It's like we were like, that was something that we just, like, you were doing it back in the day if you even had it. Now it's so commonplace, but now everybody is letting all the material accoutrements be the replacement for actual facts of real and seeing. And, everybody thinks that they can just do it now. A lot of dope boys, want to just start rapping just because they think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And they got the money, but it's like, okay, now you may have an authentic experience, but that doesn't necessarily translate into writing rhymes. And that's no diss to all of my niggas out in the trap who actually flipped it into rap. Shout out to my nigga T.I., shout out to Jeezy and the CTE, shout out to Yo Gotti. Niggas that was really out there and really flipped it and really became legends in what they were doing. But it's become a situation now with a lot of artists, a lot of corner boys who want to believe that they're artists don't understand what this really goes into, how you really have to build your wordplay, how you have to learn how to ride the beat, how you have to learn how to have a producer that you can vibe with, how you can really not self-snitch in your rhymes, because a few of them have, It's a lot, man. How do you see, Snyp, from where, the money has changed to where a lot of artists just, it's the attitudes have changed towards the art?
No, you're right. Fact. It's all fact.
Yeah, man. Do you have? What are your thoughts on that? I didn't want to say. I guess I said a lot at the same time, but anything you want to add on to that? Please.
Touched on a lot of good points, though, man. Said everything in a nutshell, man. I totally agree. it's a big difference. You know, it's a thin line, and you know, I think that's part of the game that kind of fucks up the artistry. The part where it gets corporate and it gives you that mindset that you could just be able to, you know, just throw on a rapper starter kit and just like, you know, like totally fuck the essence of the culture of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just where I think that's where people clash at, you know, with, you know, the culture and the culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more, like you said, like part of the, you know, part of the politics of the game, you know, like that flow over people's heads. And it just trickled down now, like, so, you know, they think it's cool. They follow trends, and that's what the game is built off of. So, and that's what we're seeing a lot of, you know what I mean? Even just to the style of rap that a lot of, like, because, you know, like, I'm from New York, you know, so, you know, like, I hear a lot of shit that's in New York that don't really sound like from New York, so you get it. Like,
yeah, and I wanted to touch on that with you. What's going on with it in terms, because y'all were New York has always been considered the trendsetter of pop culture in terms of hip-hop and just everything in general. So where do you believe where do you think the shift came in terms of where New York stopped sounding like New York?
I can't really, I mean, it's just, I guess, like, it's like the trend following, like the, you know, like the fad chasers, like you seen, you know, when them Chicago boys came out with that drill music, you know, it just, like, took a different effect on the rest of the whole, even different regions, like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of that stuff is incorporated from that drill sound that you hear, like, with a lot of the New York rappers. I hear it, like, I'm just like, you know, I understand, you know what I'm saying, that being that the game is corporately driven, like you spoke on, you know what I mean, that they seeing the results that's coming from that. So they trying to implement that, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because now it's like we're chasing clout, we're chasing numbers, we're chasing a look. You know what I mean? Like New York, like these Cool G Raps and Eric B and Rakims and KRS Ones, they came out letting you know we got bars. Like we the best out. Like every rapper came out like, yo, I'm the best out. Like niggas can't fuck
and
with
niggas
me.
look like niggas back then.
You know what I'm saying?
People could also, I think people could also say that with New York, I think. That's what I was talking to somebody today about that. They will probably say that New York started to get a little bit soft when Josh started blowing up with the you, and everybody started following suit with that.
I mean, you know, it's so many different, you know, influences that, you know, like, you know, politics control certain influences. So yeah, like you see a certain thing working for a certain artist and, you know, like, niggas that follow suit, in a sense. Like, that's where we lost the originality factor, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody just wanted to come out sounding like this because this is what was working. You know what I mean? When T-Pain came out with auto-tunes, you know, it was cool. He was popping. That shit was lit for a minute. Then it was like, when it died down and Jay killed it, like, sort of, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, it redefined itself. You know what I mean? It started, it's just like reoccurring trends all over again. It's like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So now you're hearing a lot of that shit again, all over again. But, you know, I always like this. I always like to say, like, that the game kind of went in, it's like a game of runs, like an NBA basketball game. It's a game of runs, like, you know, because we had that era, like, you know, you touched on with the Death Row and the expensive videos and, you know, Bad Boy with their expensive videos and the throw the rollies in the sky. We had that phase. And then we had X come out, and he was gritty, and he didn't care about none of that pretty shit, and people took a liking to that shit, and everybody was hardcore again. So it's like, you know, it just has different runs, like, you know what I mean? We've been in this run for a pretty long time, though. I ain't gonna lie, though. We've been in this run for a minute.
It's about the artist psychology, the origin.
You know what I'm
saying? Definitely. And the thing is, too, is that I think a lot of times people, you know, like I said, the image does not make the individual. You know, the individual makes themselves in terms of what they're going to deliver. Now, in terms of your experience with the industry, Snyp, because, of course, you know, with the LOX already being a brand, you know, and you being a part of that, and all of them eventually going off to sign their deals, You know, of course, Jada, you know, was with Interscope, then ended up at Def Jam, you know, and I believe Styles ended up on Koch, Styles and Sheet. So what was the situation for you in terms of your record contract, in terms of were you pursued by the majors, and were you thinking about signing to anybody, or was your intention to always pretty much remain an independent artist?
Yeah, I mean, my intention always was kind of, because I kind of was, you know, I was kind of built off of that, like do it yourself, like, you know, from the mixtape part. So when we got to the more corporate paperwork and all that, like, it was definitely a bunch of different situations that just didn't fit right for me. I just didn't even feel like that it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just kind of wanted to stay strong on being able to collect my, and that's one thing I want to just say on the side note with the people. You know, that's one thing about, like, people. Some people have good, bad things to say about people, but one thing I say about the LOX is that they allowed me to keep my publishing. They didn't take me through that same, you know what I mean, hard route that they had to go through with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't try to steal my shit or cuff my shit from me. They always gave me free control. You know what I'm saying? So I always will have different type of respect for them from that as far as the business. Some artists ain't good at being businessmen. Sometimes you just, you know what I mean, you gotta pick your poison, and you gotta know where you fit in. So for me, I just always felt like I'm always, you know, I've always been able to be successful enough to feel like I'm comfortable where I'm at without having to answer to somebody in that fashion, or have to get permission, you know what I mean, or give a percentage to somebody because they hold a title, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everything has mostly been in-house with me anyway, from my producers to my cameramen, you know what I mean? I was just fortunate to build relationships early, and we all grew together, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I mean, just long story short, just to kind of just wrap that up, independent always was more comfortable for me, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we got a situation with Rock Nation, you know what I'm saying? Through the LOX and the DBlock brand and shit, but I'm still not fully just ready to just jump on ship, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of things that I'm trying to bring to the table. It's a lot more to me than an artist. Like, as an artist, there's a lot more to me that I bring to the table than just, you know, this history of mixtapes or these dope rhymes, or this, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a whole autism project out, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of artists don't probably have awareness or even understanding to put themselves in a personal position like that and share something like that with the world. Like, I'm heavy involved with autism advocacy because of my son. So I decided I might as well do a hip-hop album based off of autism. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like where I'm at with the creative control. You know what I'm saying?
And Snyp, you read my mind on that, because I was about to ask you about that, because I was an educator in the school system for 12 years. So this is something that is very close to me as well, because I taught kids who are autistic, and a lot of people don't understand the spectrums of it in terms of Asperger's, verbal, nonverbal, savants, and one thing about it is, while a lot of times, autism can be, a very, complicated maze of the mind to navigate, it also generates a tremendous amount of genius in that child, in terms of how they interpret and express themselves. Looking on your Twitter page, you had all the colors and the puzzles, because that symbolizes all the different elements in the puzzles, because it's something that it is. But once you're able to really, get an understanding of it, it really begins to take shape. And a lot of times people only see rappers and celebrities as entertainers, but they forget you all are above everything else. You are human beings with feelings. You're someone's brother. You're somebody's son. You're somebody's cousin. You're an uncle, and most importantly, you are a parent if you have children. Please tell us about your initiative with the Autism Foundation you started and how it began.
Yeah, man. Just real quick, that's commendable that you shared your experience, in that field, because that's real close and personal to me. You know what I'm saying? When as I always say, when the microphone and the cameras and the lights are turned off, like, this is my real life. You know what I mean? So, my son, he was diagnosed with autism when he was 3 years old. You know what I mean? And here I am now, 9 years later. Still fighting advocacy. We do walks. I do charity events. I started a foundation of my own called Puzzles in the Sky. You know what I mean? Shout out Bella. Helped me put this together, and really just want to really go into the community and give more intervention and just try to have things for these kids, man, because it's something there. It's a lot of parents that go through a lot of different struggles, and it's hard for them to express it. It's hard for them to turn and talk because, embarrassment or just too self-conscious. I've been through all of those different phases, and then I came to this final phase where it was acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And what do we do from here now? So I have to gear myself. I have to prepare myself. I have to study. I have to do research. So, just God bless them with the love that we feel from him that make us motivated to, as parents, to, fight the good fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of parents that really don't want to be involved. I see it. I dropped this project just for these parents, just for these parents and these children and young adults, you know what I'm saying? To spread awareness, to let them know that, hey, there's somebody here going through the same thing, and I'm going to be the voice on my platform to speak for the people that can. My son is nonverbal, by the way, so my son doesn't really talk. So I have to be his voice. It's a mission of mine, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there you have it, though. Puzzles in the Sky is my foundation. Again, I do a lot of community work, charity events. We do a lot of fundraisers, raffles, giveaways. I want to take the kids on trips. I want to build parks in the neighborhoods that's sensory, related for the kids. And, yeah, I just want to get the parents involved and try to teach the parents and get the parents to come out of their shell and to not be so conscious and, shield their truths or, their struggles, that is, from the rest of the world. Because, at the end of the day, you already said it. You took it perfectly out of my mouth. These are somebody's kids, somebody's uncle, somebody's brother, somebody's daughter. You know what I'm saying? And they just need the same type of compassion, you know what I mean, and acknowledgement, you know what I mean, that they exist in this world with us. So, yeah, not to drag it out and all that, but, yeah.
No, you good.
That's why.
You good because
good, man.
Right. So,
yeah, no, you good because we want to touch
right.
on that a little bit, too, because this also falls into something that we have to be a little bit more specific as well. And it's about, because especially in the black community, because this is something that in terms of the mental handicaps, and when we look at things like autism, when we look at things like bipolar disorder, when we look at things like depression, these are real experiences. These are real issues in the black community that I do not think that at times we are proactive enough in addressing, because we look at it from, and this is something I think we have to really get out in front of to let our children know that, you're a human before anything, and you are going to be affected as any human is in terms of certain feelings and certain things. And I think in terms of the hood, especially where so much stuff happens, we have to be an advocate for our youth to let them know you're not alone in terms of what you're dealing with. Because a lot of times when you have a lot of these kids coming into these situations of what they see, they're thrown into stuff they don't quite understand. And God help them if they've already. From my experiences when I was in education, I taught kids, like I said, they were autistic. I taught kids that were bipolar. I taught kids that were oppositional defiant. And a lot of it, and the biggest mistake I think a lot of black parents make is that they believe that a quick foot in the ass with their kids is the answer. Sometimes it is, depending on the situation. But sometimes there's a deeper issue that also goes into, family history. And, there's a lot of things that are taboo in terms of what goes on. And how do you think, Snyp, that we get ahead in terms of all aspects being panoramic in our awareness for what goes on with our children in terms of recognizing certain issues, not only from mental health, but just growing pains in general, to help guide our children and navigate them through this world of which they have not accumulated the wisdom yet to fully comprehend and, get through.
Yeah, man, just communication, man. Just as a parent, just communicating, man, being more open, dialogue, open with with your kids, and yeah, man, it's just the awareness, man. It's the awareness factor, being acknowledged, acknowledging, certain things of this world, and I think a lot of this stuff starts in the home. Like, I say on my record, on my autism record, love starts in the home. So, the love, the understanding, the guidance, the wisdom, it starts in the home. So it's just, just an open dialogue, communication to help better equip, the young gods and goddesses of the world with, the understanding of how this world works. And everything is moving so constantly fast and prematurely, you know what I'm saying? You got young scholars and you got young veterans now, like you got to equip them better with the mental understanding, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to plug though, before we wrap it up, I just wanted to plug though that definitely I appreciate that you gave me that platform to just speak on that topic, because again, like, this fight don't ever stop. They only give us 1 month, throughout the year to recognize autism awareness, and for the parents it's a full-time job 52 weeks out of the year. So I purposely dropped this project just 2 months ago in June, I believe, beginning of June, just to give us a different lane at a different point in time that wasn't manipulated or given to us. You know what I mean? Because, again, that's back to me being independent, being able to drop whenever I want to drop and follow my own kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we're gonna keep pumping the autism awareness. I'm going to still keep doing. I'm an artist, so I paint pictures. You know what I'm saying? And, just like a model that's photogenic, a successful model is photogenic because she looks different in all her pictures. I'm an artist, so I paint different pictures. These are all different chapters of my life. So I have to share them all at some point or some way. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. I'm dropping another project this fall. It's called BAP, B-A-P, Part 2. It's short-learned, abbreviated for Back Again, Part 2. That will be out this fall. I'll be dropping my first single off of that project. So we just balancing the nature here. We balancing the culture, you know what I'm saying, with the awareness factor, and we still keeping it, with the bars lyrically gritty. We giving you everything in a nice big gumbo, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Now, we also want to ask you, too, in terms of, because we talked about how the music is being marketed. Where do you see music journalism going right now in terms of some of these guys coming into the game who really do not know about the culture but seem to have found a lane just by ratchetness? And I also want to ask you as well, in addition to that, how do you feel about a lot of publications that are not, they're based like The Source and Double XL, of whom I'm a dedicated reader, but how they pretty much have changed their paradigm to being quarterly instead of monthly, and just how some people have felt like the magazine publications have lost their influence in the business of music journalism.
Yeah, man, it's a visual game now, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is visual. So, like I told you, it's microwave. Things come and the interest factor is not the same anymore because the technology is moving at such a high speed that everything is changing rapidly before us. So, it's just going to probably be reincorporated, from a different perspective, more from a visual perspective, probably more than just from the old essence of, grabbing a magazine, read. People don't really got time to do none of that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because they in their phones doing all kinds. They doing everything in their phone now. Like, so, it's kind of hurt journalism for the creative aspect because that was the difference between us and the kids nowadays. Like, you have to read a book, you know what I'm saying? You got to go outside. Now you can just be online all day. So it's hurting your creativity. You know what I'm saying? Imagination and all that. They're giving it to you. So with the journalism, it's just, I just think that, it's just a change with the times. And more digital.
Definitely, and I think that's something that for a lot of the listeners, for a lot of a lot of people out there in the game, and a lot of times too, is that because everything has become so microwaved, as you said, it's become an expeditious nature of disseminating information, where people may just look at it from a glance of what is really clickbait, but really don't look for the deeper information, the intel of what it's trying to tell. We live in a time now tonight where, unfortunately, sensationalism, ratchetness is what's ruling, and the real substance and reality of telling what the true story is, the definitive meaning, has been, erased, if not just ignored. There are some hosts out there, online. We're not going to mention no names, but you probably know who they are by what I'm saying, that they have no understanding of the culture and are really in it for no other means than to just basically exploit us. And this crosses all levels. This is not a color line. This is not about black or white. This is just about people who are ignorant to the real culture of what hip-hop is supposed to represent and what it means. What are your feelings about those vultures being in the business?
I mean, it's part of the. Oh yeah, my joint about to die. I'm about to wrap it up, brother.
Okay.
Before I get out of here, like I said, it's just more about, the corporate side, taking over. You know what I mean? And once the politics and the corporate should get involved, like, it just kind of throws salt in the game for the originality, the creativity side. So people are just gonna jack the trend. They're just gonna jack the fad. They're gonna run with the pack. You know what I mean? And that's all they in it for. I had mentioned that earlier to you, about them just really chasing the fame and not really wanting to do the legwork. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. I just try to do my small part and, maintaining the balance of some part, in the culture. My clique and I speak on behalf of my brothers, you know what I mean? We try to keep that balance and we try to utilize that, and we just focus on our core fans, that come from those same struggles and them same eras with us, and they've just been on along for the journey. So I just want to thank all the people, you know what I mean, for the support. I appreciate y'all for having me on the show. You have a very, very intelligent hip-hop mind, my brother. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Y'all got a great show here, man. Keep this up. Keep this positive. Let's get more artists on here to talk more. I want to look more. I'm going to be watching for y'all, man. So thanks again, though, for having me, man. Appreciate y'all, brothers.
Definitely. We appreciate you, man. Look, we're going to have to get Bully and Moxberg and yourself on here as well next time, man.
Yeah, we good. Yeah, my brother. That's my brother. Mox is my brother, man. It's different chapters now. So we got different artists that we working with and stuff, and y'all gonna hear a whole lot more shit from us, and we gonna be showcasing all the new artists that we got. We got Whispers, we got Dice Payne, you know what I'm saying? We got a couple of joints like that. We really just been holding, waiting for the right opportunity. You know what I mean? Once the brothers really drop these projects, the LOX album's on the way, the DBlock compilation album is on the way, so y'all gonna get a lot more. You know what I mean? This shit. We gonna keep this shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Well, once again, Snyp Life, we thank you so much for being with us. You're welcome back anytime. Yeah. And, like I said, man, any new music, you got our contact intel, send it to us. Anybody in the camp, we're ready. We're more than eager, man. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, Lady Bella, as well. Yes, thank you.
Big shout out to Lady Bella for making this happen.
You already know, man. LOX 354 all day, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's keep the culture alive, man. One love, y'all.
Yeah. One love, peace. DBlock. Yeah, man.
Now, let me go ahead and check this 717, Uncle. We might wrap this show up a little bit early tonight because I got to head out, but I'm going to see what 717 is.
Hey.
717, you're on.
It was just a comment. That was a great show. You guys are the best. That's all I had to say. I don't want to keep you guys too long.
We appreciate you, caller. Where you calling from?
Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I
you.
appreciate you guys. That was a good show, and thank you for having artists on. You know, that's fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Definitely,
no
definitely,
problem,
man.
Just a comment, really.
Yes.
What's that?